Do you want to be free? If you don't want to be free, or you think you already are free, which you probably aren't, unless your idea of freedom is something other than freedom, then this video is a waste of your time. Go back to watching your brain rot or whatever and getting your dopamine hits. This video isn't going to give you a dopamine hit. It is going to probably take away dopamine, because I'm going to get your brain thinking, and I'm going to have you answer some questions. And these questions, I would like you to write down the questions and your answers to these questions. I'm going to answer these questions myself and maybe give examples for some of them to help you understand more. But I want you to get out a notebook and a pencil or pen, or I don't know, a Google Doc on your laptop or something, whatever you're watching this on, and write down the questions and your answers to these questions. All right, the first question that I want to ask you is, how close would you say you are to freedom? How close would you say that you are to being your idea of free? I would say I'm not super close. I mean, I'm further than I was yesterday or a couple years ago, but I still have a long ways to go. And my first steps from right now are to graduate high school and move out of my parents' house. That's the actionable things that I need to get done soon, and I'm getting done now, in order to go to that next step to achieve freedom. And I'm also going through and working, or what others would call working, for example, making this video for you and growing my personal brand so that I can be free later on. So make sure to think of the question, write it down, and answer it. And the second question I want you to write down and answer is, what is your idea of freedom? What is your idea of freedom? What do you think freedom is? What is freedom to you? My idea of freedom is being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want. And everyone has at least a little bit of a different idea of what freedom is. For me, this is a very broad idea of freedom. It's freedom of everything. For you, you might want freedom of only a few things, but I have very big goals and aspirations, and I want freedom of everything, literally everything. So write down that question, think about it, write your answer down. Third question is, what do you need to do to acquire your idea of freedom? And are you doing it? What do you need to attain or acquire your idea of freedom? And are you doing said thing or things? For me, I need to get out of my parents' house and get out of high school and work on, for example, YouTube videos, like I said before. And I am doing that right now. But what do you need to do? And are you doing it? And if we dive deeper to me getting the freedom that I want, which is full, all-round freedom, at least from what I understand it to be, money is involved in that. I need money to be able to do whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want. For example, if I wanted to go and take a jet in 1 hour to Australia to go meet with the Australian Prime Minister, would I be able to do that without money? No, because I would need a jet. I would need a jet that I could get on in an hour and leave on. So money is a part of the freedom equation that I have. And connection is also a big part too. Can I meet with the Prime Minister of Australia without the right connections to people to set up a meeting with him? No. So money and connections are two big things. Money and people. And you can't have true freedom without those two things. I mean, you can, but you can't really go buy a jet. You have to buy a jet. You can't really go meet people. You have to go meet people. I guess it doesn't make sense, what I just said. But you gotta have money and connections to do literally whatever you want in this world, in today's world. Back then, you could just go live in the forest, I guess. I guess right now I could just go live in the forest if I wanted to, too, and do stuff for myself. That sounds fun, but true freedom is being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And you need money and connections for that to work the best. And my last question for you is, if you don't start working for your freedom today, when will you? If you don't start today working for your freedom, working towards your freedom, then when will you? And I know you were just thinking about, oh, I'll do it later. I'm just watching the video, getting information. I'll start later. That's what I used to think too. I didn't start for a whole 2 years. I mean, maybe I did some push-ups here and there, but that is it. That's all I did. And the people that are free today started when they got the idea of what they should do to become free, of what they can do to become free. That's when they started. They started immediately. So I want you to start immediately so you can have a better start than I did, and maybe even more freedom than I will. Maybe you'll be better than me, but you'll never know if you don't start right now. Figure out what you need to do and start. Even just the first step, maybe second step. You don't need to go further than that. You can figure out the rest of the steps as you go. You only need the first and maybe second steps. And then just go for it. You aren't jumping a staircase. You aren't skipping all the steps, are you? You're going up step 1, step 2, step 3, up the staircase. Step 4, step 5, till you get to step 10, and you're at the top of the staircase. You don't just go from step 1 all the way to step 10, and you're there, right? And you don't think about step 10 until you're at step 10, right? You think about, I'm walking up the first step, I'm walking up the second step, I have to walk up the third step, right? Your mind just wants to go to the 10th step. You can't do that. And if you decide that you just want to wait, and you just really want to go to the 10th step immediately, and you don't want to take the steps and take the time, and it's going to take a lot of time. It would take a lot of time for you. Taking a lot of time for me. But if you decide you don't want to do that, then what are you still doing here? If you don't want to take action, then what are you still doing here? Go away. You're not wanted here. You're not needed here. Come back later when you're actually going to do something about it. And always remember that the path to heaven feels like hell, and the path to hell feels like heaven. So choose one path and stick to it. And we are warriors. Come join us. We are warriors in the Discord. Link in the description. We are warriors fighting our way through the grueling path to heaven. It is worth it. Come join us. Start your path. Go up the staircase. You get it. You get the idea. I love you, bro.